Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today. I am Messenger Daniel. This is in the name of Yahuweh. Welcome back, Yahushua Ministries. Invite you to listen to thatgreatfm.com every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today.
Not one tittle shall be removed from Torah, says Yahshua. Not one tittle shall be removed from Torah, says Yahshua. Not one tittle shall be removed from Torah, says Yahshua. Not one tittle shall be removed from Torah, says Yahshua. Yahweh, Yahshua, Israel, Yehuda, Yehudim, Ephraim, Melo, Hagoy.
Shalom Aleichem. I am Messenger Daniel in the name of Yahweh. Welcome back, Yahushua Ministries. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today. To all my fellow brothers and sisters, to all the viewers and the listeners who are on the four corners of the earth, may Abba Yahweh bless every one of you. Today is a blessing, whatever I'm doing, to come in early, but hey, if it is by the will of Abba Yahweh, let His will be done. But at least I'm here in thatgreatfm.com with my big brother, Big Martin and son. And I thank every one of you, no matter where you are on the four corners of the earth. May Abba Yahweh bless every one of you. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom Aleichem to you. May Abba Yahweh bless you and be with you. Today, there is so many things we take for granted. Except to take it with gratitude. What does the New Testament take about gratitude? Instead, we take things for granted because grace is something undeserved. But most people doesn't understand what is the meaning of grace. Grace is to obey. Grace is to repent of sin. Grace is to forgive. Grace is to justify. Grace is to receive salvation. The law of Moses versus grace. There is so many things we take for granted until we take it with gratitude. We are to do something. There is so many ways. We always thinking we are under the law of Moses. We are not on the law of Moses. We are on the justifications of grace. Whatever you keep the law of Moses, that doesn't mean you're going to receive salvation whatsoever. When we take the book of 2 Corinthians 2 chapter verse 8, three different times, I Saul begging Abba Yahweh to take it away. 3 times, not 1 time. Paul was so much suffering, so much pain. At one time, he declared to Abba Yahweh, I can't take that beating no more. Take me away. For many of you to go to hell, even you're still alive, but it's just like you are living in hell. So many things happen in our lives. Just like Job never do anything, but he go to hell. He lost everything, but he never declared, I lost my son, I lost my daughters, I lost my house, I lost everything. He never said that. But today, we are complaining for anything happen in our lives. Just like Job never do anything wrong. He go through so many pains and sufferings, sickness, diseases. He lost his sons, daughters, everything, his aunts, everything gone in split second. He never complained. He never said nothing. And 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 9 declared it. Each time Paul declared to Abba Yahweh, take it. Each time Abba declared to Paul, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now, I am glad to boast about my weakness, so that the power of Messiah Yahshua can work through me. Listen. Most people say, I am under grace. Especially those Christian people that don't even understand what the meaning of grace. Grace has nothing to do with obedience. If there is supposed to be grace, that means we have to do something wrong. We have to break in the commandments or break in the law in order to receive grace from the government, from the governments, or from the president himself. The same thing Abel declared, I will have mercy to whom I choose to have mercy. But I will have compassion to whom I choose. That's grace, undeserved grace. Why almost 2,000 years ago? But Abel declared to Paul, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Yahushuа Messiah power will rest on me. We all have a weakness in life. We have as a thorn in our flesh. No matter who you are, there's always be flaws. There's always be something in our life. It's because Messiah wants to display his power on you. There is nothing happen by accident or coincidence. Everything happened in somebody's life, it meant to be. We might be thinking it's accident because we're not prepared for it, but Allah will plan it to display his power just like in the time of Pharaoh. Why grace is sufficient for you? Many of you might be thinking, whatever you don't have a big house today, a big bank account, because of that you think Abba Yahweh probably forsake you. I was always thinking money was everything. But Abba has to teach me money is not a destination. Money is not a journey, but money is just a way of life. Money, you can do anything to every money, but the only one thing is to spend it. You cannot go with it. You can steal, killings, sell drugs, do everything to every money. The only one thing you can do with that money is spend it. There's nothing else you can do with it. I learned by adversities. I learned by experience, by pain and suffering. Grace means sometimes there is 1 million people who sleep last night but doesn't wake up this morning. I received grace this morning. I wake up. So many of you wake up this morning is not because you're doing something right. It's the grace of Abba Yahweh. Millions don't sit today. They have a plan for this morning. And there is a lot of them who will come this morning, but who don't see this moment right now I'm talking to you. To me, according to my experience about it teach me, life, don't take that for granted. I used to be very grateful. I was young. I was understanding. I would never be grateful to Abba Yahweh. Only one thing I would say, I want, but never give time to give thanks to Abba Yahweh. And he was deal with me harshly, roughly 7 years paralyzed, 7 back surgery. And it teach me how to appreciate things I never learned to appreciate. I would take everything for granted. Don't judge me wrong. But now, every second in my life, I take it with gratitude. I wish all of you learned from the word of Abba Yahweh. If Abba declared to Paul, my grace is all what you want. But I wake up in the morning, it's free. When you call 911, the first thing they put on you is oxygen. You know how much that costs? A lot. But we have it free. We take it for granted. We all have a mountains to climb. Nothing gonna be easy. But if you have faith, everything will be all right. 2 Corinthians 12 sort of extended. That is why I take pleasure in my weakness. And in the insults, you're going to find people who insulted you. There'll be hardship, regardless how you are. Don't think because Abba is with you, everything will be okay. Because you have to go to the test. You have to take the test. Whether you fail, or you pass the test. And hardship, and persecutions, and difficulties. For when I am weak, then I'm strong in Yahushuah HaMashiach. There is some scriptures say, if Yahweh is with me, who can against me? That's wrong interpretation. If you serve in Abba Yahweh, you don't face persecution, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. If you serve Abba Yahweh with all your mind, with all your soul, everything good for you, just like those pastors and TBN, something again is wrong with you. If you work Abba Yahweh, you're a witness, something again wrong. If there is no difficulties come from in your way, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. Paul went to do all those things to leave an example for us. That is why Paul declared almost 2,000 years ago. That is why for Messiah Yeshua's sake, not for his sake, not for somebody else's sake, but for Messiah Yeshua's sake, I delight in witnesses, and insulted, and hardships, and persecutions, and difficulties. For when I am weak in my own self, but I'm strong in Yahushuah HaMashiach. We must be suffer the consequences of Adam and Eve. We must to prove our loyalties, our love, our friendship, and our desire, our determination to Abba Yahweh and to Yahushuah HaMashiach. Verse 11, I have made a fool of myself, but you drove me to it. I ought to have been commanded by you, for I am not in the list of inferior of the super apostles. Even though I am nothing. Paul, if it was not for Shaul, the world would never know about Yahushuah HaMashiach. Paul is on who went everywhere to the Gentiles to make the good news of Abba known to the Gentiles. Paul declared to Abba, you have made me act like a fool. If you serve Abba, you don't act as a fool, that means you don't serve Abba Yahweh. That's the book of 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 11. You make me act as like a fool. You are to be writing commendation for me. For I am not at all inferior of those superiors, super apostles. Even though I am nothing at all. Today, when you meet a pastor, he thinking it's somebody. You say a minister, they thinking they are somebody. When you say whatever they preach, they think they are something when they are nothing at all without Messiah Yahushua. That's why Paul to explain. That is why for Messiah Yahushua's sake, I delight in weakness. We all have a weakness, but we get its strength from Abba Yahweh. If you are not delight in insult, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. If you are not delight in hardship, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. If you are in persecutions, everybody love you, something is wrong with you. If everything is all right, just like those celebrity pastors and Tibian all over the world, you don't face difficulties, sickness, whatever it is, that is a trial. That is a test. That is a test. Just like Paul went to test, he passed the test. We want you to pass the test. Paul said, even I am nothing at all. But for those people that think they are something, they are somebody when they are nothing. When we go further to the verse 12, when I was with you, I certainly give you proof that I am an apostle. For I personally did many signs and wonders and miracles among you. The sign of a true apostle were performed among you with almost patience, with signs and wonders and mighty works. Verse 13, the only thing I failed to do, which I do in the other congregations, was to become a financial burden to you. Please forgive me for this wrong. Today, we got so many people taking I am under the grace without knowing what grace is. As the scripture declare, but Abba Yahweh declared to Saul, my grace is sufficient for you. When you sleep, you are wake up. Yes. Apostle Saul say, I have made a fool of myself, but you drove me to it. And I'll drive you to it. I will put for like a crazy, like a fool. Just stop everybody thinking I'm crazy. I'm fool. I will make them that way. I ought to have been commanded by you. Everything happens by Abba Yahweh, not by men. Shalom Aleichem to you, words. May Abba Yahweh bless you. Today, we're thinking everything should be okay, everything should be fine. When you go to a school, in order to go to the next levels, you get to pass the test. That's all a test, a trial. We got to go to. But I was said to me, declared to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My loving kindness and my mercy are more than enough. Listen, it's not about money, it's about material things. And listen to what Abel declared to Shaul. They said the world, whatever happened to you in your life journey today, now what you face is to show you Abba Yahweh is always with you. Don't think whatever sickness, whatever disaster come your way, whatever trial and tribulations, Messiah declare a servant is not greater than his master. If I go through, you get to go through those things also. Why Abel declared to Saul almost 2,000 years ago, my grace is sufficient to you. My loving kindness and my mercy are more than enough, than a big house, than a husband, than a wife, than a daughter, a son, than a mother and a father. Only my grace. When you sleep, you wake up in the morning. That's grace. Something undeserved. Billions of Christians say, oh, I am under the grace. If there is no law, no commandment, there is no grace. To receive grace, you must do something wrong. Without doing something wrong, there is no grace. Meaning, if you don't break the command of Abba Yahweh, there can be no grace. Grace has nothing to do to what the Christian people declare it. Paul was a servant of Abba Yahweh. But he asked King Abba because he was in pain, he was suffering, he was persecuted by his own fellow Israelites, by others. 3 times he declared to Abba Yahweh, I can't take it no more. Take me away. Take me away. I'm tired. I'm fed up to go to jail. I'm fed up to persecute it. Sometimes Paul don't even get the food to eat. He never begging people or pray for money. These are those super pastors today. And the 3 occasions I declared to God, my grace is sufficient for you, Paul. My loving kindness and my mercy are more than enough. Always available regardless of the situation. For my power is been perfected and is completed and show itself most effectively in your weakness. We all have a flaws. We all have a weakness. I will make it that way in order to always depend on him, not depend on you. He put it that way. Therefore, I will all the more godly boast in my weaknesses, so that the power of Yahushuah HaMashiach may complete it, unfold me, and may dwell on me. If there is no weakness, you don't need Yahushuah. Today, we take in grace versus the commandments. My friends, Paul declared that is why, verse 10 and 2 Corinthians 12, verse 10. That is why, for the sake of Yahushuah HaMashiach, not for his sake, not your family's sake, not for your husband's sake, not for everybody's sake, but for Yahushuah HaMashiach. Listen carefully. I delight in weaknesses. Number 1. And insults, and hardships, and persecutions, and difficulties. For when I am weak in my own, and I'm strong in Yahushuah HaMashiach. But Yahushuah, I saw number 1 in your life. In the book of Daniel, 10 chapter, verse 19, declared, do not be afraid, who you are highly precious. I will declare, peace be today. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today. Be strong now. Be very strong. As I spoke to Daniel, Daniel was strengthening and declared, speak, my Lord. Speak, my master. Speak, my teacher, for you have strengthened me. Daniel was weak. But Messiah Yahshua was appealed to Daniel. He said, do not be afraid. You are highly precious in my eyes. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today, Daniel. Be strong. If Abba will call his servant to be strong, Kazakh, be strong. Be courageous. You know, things are not going to be easy. Now, be very strong. Not even strong, but be very strong. Whatever you go through today, be very strong. This is the word of Abba for you. Whatever what you face today, sickness, disasters, persecutions, weakness, insulted, hardship, I will declare to you, be strong. Kazakh, and Igbo, Kazakh mean be strong. Do not discourage it. If I said that to you, you won't. Everything not going to be easy. As Messiah, so I speak with Daniel. Daniel declared, I was strengthened. Now, my weakness, I feel like I'm strong in Yahushuah HaMashiach. And say, speak, my master. Speak, declare to me, for you have strengthened me. So that means when you depend on Yahshua, everything you give to him, bring all your burden, sickness, whatever happened to him, hey, we can't get. He's a doctor. The book of 1 Corinthians 2 chapter, verse 3 declared, I came to you in weakness and fear and with much trembling. When we observe you today, when you come to Abba Yahweh, you come to weaknesses. Most people today, they come and they think they are strong and they're unsafe. They have to drink energy drink. They take energy drink and give you strength. I'm crazy. That's crazy. They crazy for energy drink. My energy don't come from drink. It don't come from food. It comes from Abba Yahweh. I never tired. I never exhausted. I can proclaim the good news 24/7 without drinking, without eating. Never tired. 1 Corinthians 2:4, Paul keep on going. And my message is my preaching, it's my declarations, it's my proclamation. We're very plain. Instead of using clever and persuasive speech, I rely only on the power of the sanctified spirit of YAHUWEH HaMashiach. Those people, they talk in all kind of language, expensive words. Because I don't go to school. And my message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with demonstrations of Abba Yahweh spirit power. I don't go to school. Abba Yahweh give me a gift. That gift, no money on the earth can buy it. The only thing who can buy it is love. Verse 5, I did so, you will trust not in humans' wisdom, but in the power of Abba Yahweh. Many of you today, they are dependent on the power of a man, not in Abba Yahweh. You are dependent on what you can do to a man. When Paul was in danger, when Paul was in need, you don't call 911. When King David was a king was in need, neither you don't call 911. He said, I lift up my eyes from the hill. Where is my help is coming from? My help comes from Abba Yahweh, the Almighty Creator of the paradise and the earth. He identifies who he calling upon. We all today depend to the system, to the governments, to your husband or to your wife, to anybody. We must depend on Abba Yahweh, whatever the circumstances happen in our life. 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 1 declared, I must go and boasting. Although there is nothing to gain. I will go unto visions and revelations from Abba Yahweh. Just like Saul, all Saul's revelation was given directly to Messiah Yahushua. All my revelation came from Abba Yahweh. I don't follow men. No man teach me. But Abba Yahweh is the one teach me his word. 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 1. I must go on boasting although there is nothing to gain. If I'm boasting, just like Paul declared 2,000 years ago. Do I have anything to boast? No. Do I intend to prove anybody? No. The only ones I want to prove myself to is Abba Yahweh, my Almighty Creator. I will go on to visions and revelation from Abba Yahweh. Why Paul declare all those things? Why Paul give the esteem to himself, just like those pastors today? They give all the esteem, everything to their own self. But Paul never give anything, any credit to his own self. But today, we see what he said. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 5. I will boast about such a man, but I will not boast about myself, except in my weakness. If you don't know weakness, everything okay for you or for your family, no hardship, no insult, no persecution, that means you are on the wrong place at the wrong time. You do not serve Abba Yahweh. This is how going to jail 3 times. Paul cannot count how many times he went to jail. Next time we want to see what Paul go to do in his life. because of the good news of the kingdom of Abba Yahweh. Ephesians 3, chapter verse 16. I ask that out of the riches of Abba Yahweh's esteem, Abba may strengthen you with power through His sanctified spirit and your honor being. I ask, I request that out of the riches of Messiah Yeshua's esteem, Yeshua may strengthen you with power through His sanctified spirit and your honor being. Sometimes something happened to us in our life. You lost a loved one. You feel like this is the end of the world. You involved in the accident, or you are sick, whatever happened to you in your life. You thinking Abba Yahweh is forsaking you. You sick. You think not to be sick. Yes. You get to go through it. That's a hardship. That is a test. Job never do anything wrong. But I put Job to test. He passed the test. We must pass the test also. There is no esteem. There is no 501c3. Everyone of you must go through it. Pain and sufferings are inevitable, but misery is optional. Listen carefully. Pain and sufferings are inevitable, but misery is optional. You can choose to be in misery, but you will choose to be in pain. You will choose to be suffer. Regardless who you are, when the time to climb the mountain, you will climb the mountain. Before I will put you on the face of the earth, it's already design a mountain for you. When the time is coming, you get to go. Now, be it backward or forward, you're going to climb it because it's yours to climb. It's yours. I saw declare almost 2,000 years ago in the book of Philippians 4, chapter verse 20. I do all things through Messiah Yeshua, who give me strength and power and authority. I can do nothing at all without Yeshua. All the power and authority is granted to me by Abba Yahweh, not by men, not by drinking energy drink. I don't believe in energy drink. I'm drinking about Yahweh Yahushua-MINISTRIES. I call certain people, so what do you mean? I'm so weak, I'm going to get some energy drink. I'm just laughing. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I say, yes, man, when I drink it, give me some strength. I say, no, the strength is the power of Abel. He said, no, man, it's time to take energy drink because I feel like I'm weak. I say, go ahead. My friends, just remember 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 10. Therefore, you have to take pleasure in your infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecutions and distress for Messiah Yeshua's sake. For when I am weak, then you must be strong, because Abba will strengthen you, just like Saint Daniel. My friends, there is an old saying declared that no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. 2 Corinthians 3, chapter verse 5, you get it. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to take anything as ourselves, but our sufficient is of Abba Yahweh. If we have the mind of apostles, we have the mind of a servant of Abba Yahweh, we must use the proclamation of Saul in 2 Corinthians 3, chapter verse 5. Now that we are sufficient of ourselves to take anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of Abba Yahweh. Sometimes, when I never expected something, and I see some people, I see somebody send me something. I would not count on it. Just something I expect it. I don't always open up a door. Sometimes we so focused and one door is closing, we don't even see there is a dozen doors open. He has enabled us to minister of his new covenant. What is a new covenant? Yahshua is the new covenant. This is a covenant not of written laws, but of the Spirit. The law brings death, but the Spirit brings life. When we read the law of Moses, anyone who doesn't obey the law of Moses, I will give it to Moses, bring to death. But Yahushua bring life. We don't understand that. We take everything for granted. We must use everything for our sake. The old written covenants end to death. But under the renewed covenant, the Spirit of Messiah Yahshua give life. Remember, the woman who was caught in adultery, they bring that woman to Messiah Yahshua. Declared that, according to the law of Moshe, this woman should be stoned to death. Out you as a teacher, what you think, what you say? Messiah Yahshua would sit down on the ground writing it. After that, he got up with a stone in his hand. He declared, if anyone without sin cast the first stone on earth, he get back and sit down. No one can able to cast that stone because we all sinners and we all fall short with the esteem of Abba Yahweh. We all have a flaws. We all have a thorn of the flesh. We all have a witness. Paul was there it. Anyone gave it. The strength came from Abba Yahweh. But when Messiah Yahshua was standing, he declared to the woman, where are your accusers? He says, sir, I see no one. Messiah declared to her, if they do not condemn you, neither I do not condemn you, go and sin no more. That's grace. Because she was doing something wrong. Instead of she was stoned to death, according to the law of Moses, but because of the blood of Yahshua, not the blood of Jesus, because of the blood of Yahshua HaMashiach, she received justification. She received mercy. She received grace. She found favor. Even Job, even me. I'm also good for nothing, but I found favor. Favor is different when we are taken to thee. We are good when we are some good for nothing. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 6. I has enabled to us, Yahweh has enabled us to minister. It's his new covenant. This is the covenant, not in written laws, but the Spirit. The all written covenant and a death, because anyone who disobey that commandment must be stoned to death. But under the renewed covenant, the Spirit of Abba Yahweh gives life. I may urge you today, whatever you go through in your life, your house might be in chaos. You might be in pain. You might see everything upside down in your life. You arguing with your wife, everybody try to forsake you, friends, everything. The financial start by going down. It's just a test, it's not Satan. It's just a test. In order to go to the next levels, you get to pass the test. Whatever you in the kindergarten, to go to the next level, you get to pass the test. You spend 10 years in medicine school. If you don't pass the board test, you're in trouble. You go into the law school, The same things. You must pass the board test. If you don't pass it, you have no license. There is no difference at Abba Yahweh. If you want Abba Yahweh to raise you up, to bring you to the next level, you get to be just like Job. You went through everything. Exodus 3, chapter verse 11. And Moshe declared to Abba Yahweh, who am I that I go into Pharaoh, and that I should bring for the children of Israel out of it? Why Moses declared to Abba, who am I? Because he knows who is Pharaoh. Pharaoh don't play. But when Abba gives you a comment, you don't have to fear. You don't have to be afraid, because it is with you. Because you don't know Abba Yahweh. You say, who am I to go to Pharaoh? I know Pharaoh. I was lived down there for 40 years. I know the power what Pharaoh can do. Are you trying to go back to Pharaoh? Who am I? But Abba declared to Moshe, I will be with you today. Whatever you're going through, Abba Yahweh is with you. And this will be a sign upon you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people of Israel out of Egypt, you will worship Abba Yahweh and this mountain. The way Abba Yahweh set us free, give his spirit, is to worship him. Today, you see billions of people all over the world worship on Sunday. They worship the sun without knowing the seventh Satan. They bow down to the sun every Sunday. But the Sabbath day, they always have questions to ask him. They always, just like now, people already celebrate the Passover. When Passover is not the appointed time yet. Blind lead another blind. The book of Psalms, 8 chapter verse 2 declared, out of the mouth of the babes or an infant and suckling, as you ordained, are you appointed strength because of thy enemies, that you might steal the enemy and the avengers. My friends, the book of Isaiah 35 chapter verse 3 declared, with this news, it strengthens those who have tied and encourage those who have weak knees. Those who pray too much and the knees, give them encouragement. Those who are afflicted today, give them encouragement. Don't bring them down. Don't criticize them, because you never know what the other person go through. Sometimes there is a people who know how to hide in the pain. They don't cry, but inside of them is a misery. It's a cancer. Because they hide in the pain. They don't talk. You don't know what is going on in that person's family. Don't criticize. Take time before criticize. Isaiah 35, chapter verse 4 declared, say to those with fearful mind, be strong, encourage them, and do not fear, for your almighty creator is coming to destroy your enemies. Oh yes, Yahshua is coming to save you. Say to those, declare to those with fearful mind, those who are in fear today, because you go through something in your family, with your husband, with your wife, with your mother, with anything happen, sickness, whatever. Mr. Yahshua say, be strong, Kazakh. Do not fear. Your almighty Savior, Creator will come. Mr. Yahshua will come with vengeance. With ultimate retributions, Mr. Yahshua will come to save you. Nothing to be feared. Nothing to worry about. Everybody has obstacles in their life. Don't expect because you have somebody is rejoice. Oh, that person always happy. Maybe you don't have no problem. He gets something, he don't show it. But inside is a cancer. Because he don't express what's going on into your life, his life. The book of Isaiah, 40 chapter, verse 29. He give power to the faint, and to them that have no might is increase his strength. It's not energy drink who give his strength. It's about his spirit. Whatever going on to your life journey today, my friends, my brothers and sisters, just remember, almost 2,000 years ago, in the book of Matthew 5, verse 11, Messiah declared, blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you, and say all manner of evil against you, firstly, for my name, Yahushua's sake. Listen. If you see your pastor going good, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. If you see your elders drove a $65 million airplane, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. He's a superstar, he's a celebrity. If you see they have an airport and its own house, you don't go through hardship, you don't serve Abba Yahweh. You serve Satan. There's a difference between blessing and reward. I will bless those, but when you see those pastors with 65 million airplane, they have a big mansion house, big yachts, big and this. That's not blessing. That's reward from Satan for them that do the works. There's a big difference between bless and reward. All those in Hollywood, they do not bless. They reward by Satan, by doing their own works. But I will bless his people. What the Messiah was declared 2,000 years ago. The book of Matthew, 5, verse 11. Blessed are you when men shall persecute you. Men shall hate you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you. Firstly, for my name, Yahushua's sake. That means if you serve Jesus, you are okay. If you said the Lord or Allah or Buddha, whatever the name, you are okay. But Yahushuah HaMashiach, the name above all the name. If you face everything happy, everybody love you, that means you're doing something wrong. Verse 12, Messiah keep on going and saying that in the book of Matthew, 5, chapter verse 12. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your rewards. Great is your blessing and paradise. For in the same way, they persecute the prophet who were before you. Remember, it says, rejoice when you face persecution, when you face hardship, when you face insult, whatever you face, sickness or disease, disasters, obstacles, rejoice about it. Be very glad, don't be sad, don't be fear. For a great blessing awaits you in paradise. And remember, the ancient prophets were persecuted in the same way. So that means we must face the hardship. You are the salt of the earth. But what good is salt if it has lost its flavor? Can you make the salt salty again? No. You be thrown out and trampled under the feet of worthless. When you take a salt, you use that salt. Can you use that salt again? No, you cannot use that salt again. You can use the salt only one time. After if you use it, you throw it away. My friends, 2 Corinthians 12, verse 5. O such, and one will I esteem, yet of myself I will not esteem, but in my infirmity. If Abba Yahweh has to know you, you get to go through. When you go to the congregation, you can testify where you go, where you came from, where you are today. I got something to testify. I always knock me down. I always Knock me down, take my heart away. I was young. When he called me to serve him, I said, I'm going to not serve you. He knocked me down. 7 back surgery. 7 years paralyzed. 51 pills a day. Whatever I tried to help myself, I cannot help myself because I was disciplining. It was hard. That was painful. But now I can rejoice in my blessing. 325 pounds about reduced me, squeezed me as the orange juice to 100 pounds. Now I can say thank you, Abba Yahweh. I am not what I used to be. I am not what I want to be. But thank you to make me the way you want me to be. It's a blessing. Thank you, Abba Yahweh. 2 Corinthians 11 chapter verse 30 declared, if I must need esteem, I will esteem on the thing which concern my infirmity, not things of this world. 2 Kings 2 chapter verse 15. And when the son of the prophet which were to view of Jericho saw it, they say, the spirit of Elijah do rest on Elisha. And they came to meet him and bowed themselves to the ground before him. My friends, the time is ticking. Nothing is guaranteed unless you cross the finish line. The spirit of Abba Yahweh shall rest upon him. The spirit of wisdom and understanding. The spirit of counsel and might. The spirit of wisdom and of the fear of Abba Yahweh. My friends, grace is to obey. Grace is to repent of sin. Grace is to forgive. Grace is to be justified. Grace is to receive salvation. Romans 7 verse 14 declared, we know that the law is spiritual, but I am unspiritual, soul as a slave to sin. So the trouble is not with the law, for it is spiritual and good. The trouble is with me. For who fear when I am all to human a slave to sin? What does it mean to be saved? According to grace, can grace truly be a license to live and sin? Can grace give you a license to kill? Can grace give you a license to commit fornication? Can grace give you a license to commit abortions? Any kind of way you feel like it is in according to no needs or regulation, instructions or commitments. If those things doesn't exist, grace doesn't exist. After all, we have read this far. We have come to understand the importance, the awesomeness, significance of faithfully observing Abba Yahweh grace. We have come to recognize that Abba Yahweh commitment is set apart, and the commitment of Abba Yahweh is good. Wherefore the law is set apart, and the commandment is set apart just and good, as we all as do today. My friends, I want all of you to understand, sleep, and see what Abba declared to Shaul. The grace of Abba Yahweh, that's only your thing you need. You need nothing else. Not thinking about the material things. As Saul was declared, when I was coming to my mother's rooms, naked, I was coming. And when I go back with nothing. Abba is the one who gave. Abba is the one who take away. May the name of Abba is so blessed. I'm going to leave tonight or this afternoon, no matter where you are, the book of 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 8. 3 times Paul requests to Abba Yahweh, please take me away. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. Each time Paul said that, I will declare to Paul, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now, I am glad to boast about my weaknesses and that the power of Messiah Yahshua can work through me. Remember, my friends, whatever happened to you, remember the book of 2 Corinthians 12, chapter verse 9. But I declare to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My loving kindness and my mercy are more than enough. Always available regardless of the situations. For my servant, for my power is been perfected, and it is complete, and showed itself more effectively in your witness. Therefore, I will all the more gladly boast in my witnesses, so that the power of Messiah Yahshua may complete, unfold me, and may dwell in me. My friends, I like verse 10. Verse 10 gets so many things to end. That is why I take pleasure in my witnesses and the insults, hardships, persecutions, and troubles that I'm suffer for Messiah Yahshua. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Thank you, every one of you, especially Mommy C. I YAHUWEH, may Yahweh bless every one of you. I thank you. I was not ready. I do not know what I'm going to preach today. But you put a word in my mouth. Thank you. I was searching. I have no time. But Yahweh always have some time for me. I thank you, Yahweh, for your spirit, for your mercy, for your grace. Yahweh, I'm here as your servant to always do what pleases you. May Yahweh bless every one of you, keep you safe. May Yahweh be your shield. May Yahweh provide for you and your family and keep you safe from the crazy world today. May Yahweh be with every one of you. May Yahweh bless you. May Yahweh sanctify every one of you. May Yahweh keep his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you. May Yahweh lift his countenance and give you shalom. B'Shem Yahshua HaMashiach, Melech of Israel. B'Shem Yahshua HaMashiach, Melech of Israel. In the name of Yahshua HaMashiach, the name above all the name, the name of one day, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Yahshua HaMashiach is esteem of the Father. I am Messenger Daniel. Until next time, the Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today. To the Rabbi Yahweh with much more love, blessing, and shalom. Be blessed and stay blessed.
Say thank you to listen to thatwayfm.com, and until next time, the Shalom Aleichem. Peace be today.
Absolutely, man. Another powerful message right there from Brother Daniel. Locked inside the Big Mike Show, the Big Mike Show extended version. Coming up next, man, we're going to talk to a local attorney, and he's going to spread some information